People go vegan for animal, health, and environmental reasons, and statistically in that very order. Animals are conscious sentient beings who experience emotions and feel pain. Even the smallest of animals can have a central nervous system and feel pain. Did you know that pigs are smarter than a 3-year-old child? Chickens like to be cuddled, and cows maintain friendships for life. As previously mentioned, animals are the main motivation for most vegans. As a vegan, you will spare an average of 95 animals each year. In the world, it might not seem like much of a difference, but to each of those animals, it means their world. Because we can never be sure of an animal's experience, their living conditions, if there's abuse, neglect, isolation, confinement, we err on the side of caution, knowing that nowadays they likely endure a lifetime of exploitation, pain, suffering, and eventually slaughter. For the sake of animals, we choose to not risk supporting such inhumane industries. For your health, the second most common motivation for vegans, you may experience illness prevention, weight loss, lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, diabetes management and prevention, less constipation, better digestion and bowel movements, no hormone consumption, natural or synthetic, no antibiotic consumption, better nutrient absorption, and longevity. In fact, vegans live an average of 15 years longer than an omnivore. This pertains to a plant-based vegan diet. There are plenty of vegan junk foods that may go against the aforementioned health benefits. Please do not underestimate what happens when we eat. You are literally putting something into your body, some of which will stay there forever. So let's be mindful of that. I mean, how can food not affect your health? Food determines your health. The environment is the third reason people go vegan. Sustainability benefits of veganism include using less resources, lower water footprints, lower carbon footprints, less overall destruction like forest clearing for pastures, soil degradation from manure, water pollution from manure, and air pollution from animal emissions. Here's a less common but other significant reason to go vegan. Believe it or not, we already produce enough food to feed the world. So why does world hunger continue? Food that could be feeding people is instead used to feed livestock animals. All the more reason to cut out the middleman, or animal rather. Why aren't more people vegan? Frankly, people either don't know any better or they just don't care. There's ignorance, oblivion, conformity, disassociation, denial, and willful ignorance all at work here. The further removed we are from the process, the less we know and the less we care. Our current food system relies on mass ignorance to keep going as it is. Many know when they eat meat, it's from an animal who died. But the connection of an animal and the meat isn't strong enough to generate enough concern to stop. Many know the idea of killing animals feels wrong, but they ignore the unease by justifying it and refusing to acknowledge it. Many don't want to be or do things differently from others around them. Many know about climate change, but they don't know or downplay animal agriculture as one of the leading causes of climate change. I'll share a journal excerpt I wrote from being vegan several years ago. I've tried to justify eating meat. It would be much easier to accept it mentally than to renounce it. I've tried imagining myself back at the dinner table biting into a hamburger thinking, meat is so good, why would anyone say no to this? Or my body needs this meat is healthy for me, meat is the best protein, so nutritious, and I'm an animal too, and throughout evolution, humans have just turned out on top. Sometimes I wish I could accept meat because it would be easier to sleep at night. It would be easier to fit into society, and I wouldn't have to think twice about what I buy or what I eat. The difference between the vegan and the non-vegan mentality is that vegans cannot look away. They cannot stand by knowing what they know and do nothing. Have you ever seen a truck pass by full of livestock, animals oblivious to the horrific doom they'd soon face? I have. Every morning, while waiting for the bus in Germany, a truck full of pigs drove by, heading straight for the slaughterhouse. It was quite unusual, considering this is a scene typically reserved for more rural areas. In Munich, there's a slaughterhouse located in the middle of the city, and it ruined my day each time I saw this, which was nearly every morning. It was a startling realization of just how far removed most of us are from the production process. Food products at the grocery look nothing like the animals they once were. Will our connection to food ever be restored as it once was? Not long ago, our grandparents and just a few generations before grew their own food. But today, we live in an out-of-sight, out-of-mind, carefree attitude towards food origins. If food transparency existed, we'd all be making different choices. Eating is something we do all day, every day, so it's important to know what we're putting into our bodies and actions we support with our dollars. So let's attempt to restore the lost connection with awareness. With a focus on health, animals, and the planet, here are the ways in which animal-derived foods are problematic.